Hey guys, I'm Syed. So we're gonna take a look into alleged Syrian chemical attack and how is it considered a complete hoax. With the passage of 2 weeks since the chemical attack took place in Syria, there emerged several evidences detailing that the Syrian weapon attack was actually false flag. The most concrete evidence is put forward by the Syrian government that they don't have this chemical arsenal.
Don't have any chemical weapons. We gave up our arsenal a few years ago.
And have already shipped out all their chemical weapons stockpile in 2013, which is by the way, is confirmed by the Western mainstream media like CNN, Fox, BBC. And US Secretary of State John Kerry
struck a deal where we got 100% of the chemical weapons out.
100% of the declared chemical weapons out of Syria.
Adding to this is the United Nations investigation in 2013 by Carla Del Ponte that validated about previous chemical attack was carried out by rebels.
During our investigation for crimes against humanity and war crimes, we collect some witness testimony that made to appear that some chemical weapons were used, in particular nervine gas, and what appeared to our investigation that was used by the opponents, by the rebels, and we have no indication at all that the government, the authority of the Syria government have used chemical weapons.
The timing of the attack provided by the Al-Nusra Front or terrorists doesn't correspond to the scheduled airstrike carried out by the Syrian government. The extremist rebel or terrorists claim that the attack took place at 6:30 a.m. local time, while the Syrian Foreign Minister Walid Mualim in a statement said the first air raid conducted by the Syrian army was at 11:30 local time, which is also echoed by the President Bashar al-Assad in his interview to AFP.
The sources said that the attack happened at 6:30 in the morning, while the Syrian attack in the same area was at around noon, between 11:30 to 12. So they're talking about two different stories or events.
Walid Mualim also said that the army attacked an armed depot belonging to the Al-Nusra Front chemical weapon using KAB-500E guided bomb, which cannot be used to deliver sarin nerve gas. The most bizarre thing came to light is how White Helmet was seen handling the victim and corpses without any safety gear, but mostly mask and no gloves. Which contradicts the 1995 Tokyo subway sarin attack where Japanese ground civil defense force treated the victim wearing masks and hazmat suits. And the evidence pointed out by the local media sources revealed that the most victim of this attack was 200 people kidnapped by Al-Nusra from the villages of Khattab and Al-Majdal 2 weeks prior to this horrific tragedy. This comes nothing as a surprise when a Turkish MP Erdogan claimed that the ISIS terrorists have received all necessary material to produce deadly sarin gas. He also argued that the West purposely blamed President Assad for August 2013 chemical attack to use it as a pretext for making military intervention. Similarly, former British ambassador to Syria Peter Ford rejected the claims of intelligence experts and dismissed that Assad is complicit in this attack.
Remember the run-up to Iraq. The experts, the intelligence agencies, the politicians were convinced that Saddam had weapons of mass destruction. They produced reams of evidence, photographs, diagrams. It was all wrong. It was all wrong. It's possible that they're wrong in this instance as well, that they're just looking for a pretext to attack Syria.
Same opinions shared by Senator Richard Black, who met President Assad last year, in his statement saying there's no motive for Assad to have launched any chemical attacks and snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. And we cannot ignore Ron Paul Jeremiah, wherein he said the Syrian people should choose their own leaders, that Assad would launch a gas attack to turn the whole world against him. You don't either. We're back to the same lies that got us into Iraq. Do we have never learned to question the propaganda? Theodore Postol, a chemical weapon expert from MIT, said the White House report contained absolutely no evidence that the attack was a result of ammunition dropped from aircraft. And this tragedy full of surprise. Dr. Shahidul Islam, who was hailed as a hero for helping those suffering in Syrian gas attack, has previously stood trial on terror offense. The most intriguing point is Shahidul Islam's tweet, where claimed the hospital getting food from the Syrian attack victim was not even registered to practice medicine and repeatedly suspended by General Medical Council UK. Last New York Times reported that the ISIS used chemical arms at least 52 times in Syria and Iraq since it swept to power in 2014. Deducing all this evidence, the question arises here is what US so afraid of that he rejected the transparent investigation in this tragic incident? Only time will tell.